And we literally, dab it up, shook hands before the game, introduced ourselves. Hey, what's your name? What's mine? So what position do you play? So how are you? How tall are you? And things like that. So yeah, it's the first time seeing my teammates. In fact, it was quite a mess, especially in the first few games.
Welcome to another episode of Ballcast, and today we have Yaw Haur with us. Okay, so maybe for a start, maybe we'll talk about more about yourself, what you're doing now, and also how do you start basketball?
So hi guys, I'm Yaw Haur. Just graduated from NTU for about a year or so. So right now I'm just working full time in the fashion retail industry. Yeah, that's pretty much about my background.
Okay, so maybe now I've heard that you had an experience that should be quite unique among the other local players that we have here. So you had the opportunity to play as an import player in the White Dragon Cup in Malaysia, am I right?
Yeah, White Dragon Cup. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so maybe can you share how this opportunity came about and also why you decided to take it up?
Okay, so in just context, White Dragon Cup is like a league in Johor. So I got picked up by the Southern State Crawdads, a Johor-based team that semi-pro team in Malaysia. So how I got this opportunity is when I was playing in the Pink Warriors, actually, just representing extreme 3-on-3 basketball. And then after the games, actually played with the Southern State Crawdads. And then after the competition, Eric, which is their general manager, just hit me up on Instagram saying, "Hey, you're a good baller. We would like to scout you, hit to Singapore to watch like a couple of games." So yeah, and then we just communicated on Instagram, and his team came over to Singapore to watch a couple of games of mine. We had a good lunch, hang out for a bit, and then the opportunity came to play for the White Dragon Cup. The Southern State Crawdads, they basically registered for the competition. So yeah, it was a great competition. Basically, it's a good opportunity because I actually played for a small league and then, got scouted. So it was really a good opportunity to play.
I didn't know that they were actually scout from Pink Warriors. So that's quite interesting, actually. What are some challenges and maybe the highlights of this White Dragon Cup?
I think there were many challenges, especially where, I was a Singaporean, first time joining some like a semi-pro league, semi-pro team, in fact. And it was quite a challenge because I didn't have this experience of, playing semi-pro. Getting paid and joining a very good organization, very good team that is based in Johor. So most of the time, when we're playing basketball, especially in the local scene, we don't really get the opportunity to play overseas unless your club, brings you there. So it was a great opportunity to come to scout. I think the few challenges during the league was mainly based off because, it was the first time that, I was in Johor playing in the league there. And another thing is we didn't know our teammates. Like we all actually didn't know each other before the game. And we literally, dab it up, shook hands before the game, introduced ourselves. Hey, what's your name? What's mine? So what position do you play? So how are you? How tall are you? And things like that. So yeah, it's the first time seeing my teammates. In fact, it was quite a mess, especially in the first few games. We had to figure out things out, talk amongst each other. And yeah, so those were the main challenges. And apart from that, I would say the pressure of getting paid to play and expecting to show up in every game, putting up good numbers, putting up good stats. So that was one of the main challenges that I had because I didn't have this experience, first time going there. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to pass the ball to. You don't know if you should shoot or not. So there were a lot of challenges, but yeah, I think it's just a great opportunity to play for such a good organization, a good team to play overseas. Yeah.
I see. So you didn't have any like training or whatsoever. You just jumped right in.
Yeah, for that league, in fact, we had a lot of imports flying in from all over the world. It was really the first time seeing a lot of them, and then a few of the Malaysian local players as well. So yeah, we just had to figure a lot of things out, and it was quite a challenge.
I see. So you mentioned that you didn't like have this experience before, kind of like your first. So do you think that there was any particular expectation of you as an import in the team?
So mainly when you're thinking of money, you're thinking of you're supposed to show up. You're supposed to put up numbers, you're supposed to help the team win.
Yeah.
And it was really tough because I was pressured, I was super nervous before the games, pumps, knees weaks. So it was quite tough. but I'm glad it happened, and it was just a good experience for me. In fact, I think in the first game, I only put up like 2 points.
Oh,
So, yeah, it was a good experience. I'm glad it happened. It just went on from there.
I see. Then, can you describe a memorable moment or maybe a game from your time in, this Malaysian league?
Yeah, I think apart from the games itself, the team was really close. It's quite ironic because it's like the almost like the first time, second time we saw each other. In fact, like most of us, we don't really even stay in Malaysia or we don't even stay in Singapore. So a lot of them like flew in. I think one thing that was memorable is that after the game we hung out, we talk about our lives. Yeah, we just don't really care about basketball anymore. We just put it on like hanging out with friends. So I think that was memorable. Apart from that, it would just be the experience of playing overseas and getting paid from it.
So I see that, you made a lot of friends actually through
Yeah,
this league. And are you still like friends with them, still talking and everything?
for sure, for sure. There are a few leagues that are going on right now. So when I have time, I would go over to Johor, or sometimes I think last month, in fact, we had a 3-on-3 in a KL. So yeah, we had to scoot over there, going over there, hang out with them after the game, before the game, and in fact we went there earlier. And then Eric, which is our general manager, booked the B&B, and then we just hung out, talk about everything about life, and yeah, it was really good.
Honestly, sounds really fun. Okay, next question. Would you choose to pursue this alternative career if you really had that option?
Oh, this is a tough question, but I think honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not really good, so I will not pursue this passion. I mean, talking about and looking at the things that we have in Singapore, I mean, there are not many opportunities to go pro or even like be paid to actually play basketball or even teach basketball. I think the scene in Singapore is really growing, especially a lot of academies coming up. A lot of people investing a lot of money in the sport itself and the growth of the sport itself. So for now, my answer will be no. But
Okay.
yeah, I think if I were to grow up like a bit later, I might consider.
I see. All right, now maybe we can talk about a little bit about fashion, like what you mentioned just now that you're doing. So maybe could you tell us about your role in the fashion industry and what is your day-to-day responsibilities?
I'm doing costing. So basically, we work on products, we work on apparel, we look at the costing, we look at product development. We work with designers, we work with product developers to basically develop products. And then, yeah, some of them you can see on your shelves when you go to the malls and things like that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, how did your education at NTU influence your basketball journey and your transition into the fashion industry?
I think NTU was, in fact, one of the best times in my life. Not only for basketball, getting education there is really good. I was majoring in material sciences and engineering. So growing up, I just love fashion. Like I like buying shoes, collecting sneakers, looking at like apparel, thinking about what designers think about them, how they develop products, how they think about designing products. So I think, yeah, it's just like this passion, this love of mine for this industry. And for me, when I was in NTU, I was studying material science, right? So I just did up a lot of internships, did a lot of like my own studying on the fashion industry, on apparel, on shoes, and whatsoever just related. So yeah, it's just like this passion of mine. So yeah, it was. I would say school has been great because it really gave me the opportunity to study, to give me time to go for like internships, talk to people in the industry, gain the experience, and apart from that, it's just basketball. I think NTU basketball has been one of the best in the country. So still the best. Really love the team. In fact, I'm still in contact with most of the guys there. Sometimes go over to play. We just played for NTU in one of the 3-on-3s over the weekend. I mean, it's not only in school. Like we participate in competitions like here and there. So it was great.
I see. So you have various hairstyles over the years. So how do you use appearance to express your personality and love for fashion, both on and off court? Which hairstyle is your favorite?
I wouldn't say I had a lot of hairstyles, but basically in my life I only had straight hair. I only got like a braiding once, and it was really bad. So I would say the most fun and interesting one was the braids. First time I did that, it was really cool. But after like a week or so, my my hair was like so itchy because yeah, it was really hard to maintain. So it was the ugliest, but it was the most interesting and fun one.
Do you like kind of wanted to explore that? Like, was there a reason or like a sudden like, ooh, I want to try?
Yeah, it's like, because I would say it's like because of like what I'm exposed to. Like you said, exposure and things like that. So, I'm always on like fashion stuff, videos and whatsoever. So I think that, inspired me to put on like braids. Yeah.
That's a bit daring. At least you try. At least you try.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare to. Okay. Maybe next one. Let's talk about a little bit about your future. Okay. So, what are your future aspirations in both the fashion and basketball? Fashion industry and basketball. And do you have any upcoming projects or maybe goals that you're excited about?
I think I think I'm gonna start off with fashion because it's gonna be straightforward. Like I would pursue fashion 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road. I feel that growing up, I have always loved this industry. I like looking at anything that's related to fashion. I like looking at what designers do, looking at the products that they develop and things like that. So for basketball, I would say because of how much I love the sport, how much I love the game. No matter how old I'm gonna be or how my body decides to fail me, I will still say that I'm gonna still play the game and see where it brings me. Like this opportunity, I didn't ever thought that I would have joined the State Crawdads as like somewhat semi-pro player. So I think I'll still keep balling. Yeah, I love the game, love the people around me. Yeah, that's the future for me.
Would you, I mean, since that you like fashion so much and you kind of really go through the process of it, right? Do you think you ever develop your own fashion brand?
Own fashion brand, I would say not for now. Still learning, and because personally I didn't have fashion background in terms of like education. So that's something I would definitely want to explore. Yeah, and there are so many things that are coming up, streetwear and like so many brands, small brands coming up, especially in the Singapore scene. So definitely that is something that I'm looking at, but not for the next 5 years or so, I would say.
See. Then how do you see the relationship between sports and fashion evolving in the future?
I think it's not in the future. Like for now, even like you can see like let's say NBA players, they're collaborating with so many brands and they have like designer stylists attached to them. They hire people to just style them. And yeah, it's basically growing. As you can see, like in the scene in Singapore, a lot of the young hoopers, they're dressing well, they are carrying themselves well, they don't look sloppy, they look good. So I think you can see like everything's evolving, especially for basketball and fashion.
I see. So how has your diverse background and experiences, I'm sure you've came a long way, shaped your approach to both your professional and personal life?
Wow, this is a tough question. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure how to answer this, but it's just like I would say the things that I experienced, the failures that I've been through, it all comes together and then it just shaped me to who I am. So I would say I am very adventurous. I like to try new things. So I think that's one major factor that I have. It really shaped me to who I am now.
So on top of that, maybe I can just throw in a little bit of a question. When do you think is your lowest point and highest in your basketball journey?
Oh, this is good as well. I would say I have one good experience to share. Lowest and highest being at the same point of time. Yeah, so when I was in NTU, I actually represented Singapore in the ASEAN University Games. So it was like an opportunity of a lifetime. Had to go overseas to play for Singapore with a bunch of great guys. And then, yeah, that was one of the highest points in my life. Just doing something that I really like to do and dream of doing at such a young age. So that was the highest. But in fact, when I was there, I actually had really bad injury. Not too sure why, but we were just having practice overseas at Thailand, Ubon. So yeah, we were just running through a couple of drills, running through a couple of strategies for the game. And in fact, I remember it was like the next game was in fact against Malaysia. So we had like a light scrimmage and then I went for a layup, come down and I felt my knee pop. So that was tough. Just the experience of, going over there, dreaming of this for your whole life and then, your knee just decided to fail on you. So that was one good experience where it was just like one high and one low.
At the same
Yeah.
time.
So
Okay,
tragic.
Thanks for sharing. Next one. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Nothing, like just be you. Yeah, just do the things that you like to do, make yourself happy. Yeah, just keep doing the things that you like to do.
Nice. Okay, next let's have some fun and quick fire questions. So I have three.
Okay.
So the first one, what's your favorite basketball sneakers of all time and why?
Favorite basketball sneakers. Okay, it's the Hyper Dunk 2011 actually. So they released this shoe in 2011. Yeah, it's just the best shoe that I had. It's just Hyper Dunk 2011.
Nice.
Until now, like I feel that no matter how many shoes that come out, LeBron's, Kyrie's, KD's, yeah, Hyper Dunk is still the best.
It's the best. Okay, next one. If you could style any current NBA player, who would it be and what look would you create for them?
I would go for Shai, SGA, from the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I think he's just a very fashionable guy.
What look will you create for him?
What look will I create? Okay, this is tough. But I would say I would give him like luxury look because like you see him in like the NBA tunnels before the game, you know, they walk through the tunnel and then like photographers will snap pictures of them, right? He's always in like baggy clothes, oversized, very weird clothes, but I've never seen him in like luxury tuxedo and things like that. So I think that would be interesting.
Okay, next one. Describe your perfect day off when you're not working and not playing basketball.
I would say just chilling, hanging out with some friends. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Looking at fashion shows.
I see.
Yeah, watching TikTok, Instagram, chilling.
Maybe you can start thinking, what do you want the next person, to do as well.
Okay, so since I'm like a PE teacher, right? So maybe do something related to fitness. So I think there's this like challenge where, from a seated position, you try to like stand up, like doing like sort of like a sit up. Then you try to stand.
Stand back up. A lot of people have either mobility or strength. This is a test to see if you're one of the few that has both. Start by bending your leg, holding onto your foot, and lift the opposite arm in the air. From there, bend over and touch the ground. Slowly return to the upright position, and once you're there, drop your knee to the ground. Lightly tap it against the ground and stand back up. This is much harder than it looks. Can you do it? A lot of people have either mobility.
I'll challenge the next person to rap. So like a short verse.
That's nice. Okay, that's all for me. So thank you for coming on to this podcast and thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.